What is good, everyone? Eric Oakley here, and we're out here trying to give you guys a better idea on how to throw rollers. Rollers are probably one of my favorite shots in the game, and over my years, I have learned about all the different types of rollers. I mean, we're gonna talk about, Hyzer rollers, Hyzer Flip rollers, cut rollers, forehand rollers. We're gonna kind of talk in depth about all of these to give you guys every way you guys can roll yourselves around the course.
Hi, I'm Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. Did you know that 70% of you that are watching this video aren't even subscribed to our channel? Yep, that's right. So I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll know every time we upload a video. Hey, Jackie.
A roller is pretty self-explanatory. It's where the disc gets on edge and starts to roll. And there are many ways to do this. As I mentioned before, we have an Hyzer roller where you're taking a more neutral disc and putting it down on Hyzer and letting it go into a roller angle. The Hyzer Flip, it's pretty much the same concept. We're taking a disc and throwing it on a slight hyzer. It's very flippy, letting it pull itself over into a roller angle and start rolling. Cut rollers are generally thrown with more overstable discs where you're really exaggerating the Hyzer angle and putting them down into a roller angle and letting them cut to the left for a right-handed player. And then we have forehand rollers, which are an amazing tool when you're stuck in the woods and can actually be used for some even bigger distance shots with low ceilings where you put them down and let them roll similar to the way you would on a backhand roller. The cool part about rollers is that you can use many different discs for them. I have a felon, I have a thief, I have a maverick, I have a vandal. You can use trespasses. I mean, the list goes on and on. There are even people who use putters for rollers. So it's really good to understand exactly how all of these discs will work and what types of angles you want to be throwing on them to get the most out of every single roller. When choosing your discs, it's really important to understand what type of roller you're going to have. A big part of understanding exactly how discs roll is understanding how they fly. So if you have a disc that is understable, it is likely going to roll very similar to how it flies. It'll likely get down and pull to the right pretty quick. Same thing with a nice and neutral disc. That disc will want to hold straight for a very long time. The overstable ones, once you put them down, they really don't want to pull themselves and fall over. They will keep cutting and work themselves to the left. So understand your discs, how they fly, and you'll start to understand how they're going to roll on the ground. So I got a Lucid Vandal, and I'm really going to try and lean back and put this disc down on a roller angle. Have a tailwind here, so discs are going to probably play a little more stable, so it's going to be really good to get this pretty close to vertical to get the flight. And again, when throwing the Hyzer roller, we really want to focus on our upper body and really getting back to making sure that this disc is coming out on a more extreme Hyzer angle. It's understable enough that it should be able to pull itself into the ground and start rolling. I'll try and beat this gentleman and his dog. Oh, dog. That's gonna be a better angle. Yeah. So you saw the Hyzer release. Look at that thing hold nice and straight. This is some thick grass, so it's gonna lose a lot of speed, but that's a very straight roller. After you have a Vandal that's nice and beat up, or you have a Maverick, maybe even a Prime Maverick, this is what you're gonna be wanting to kind of throw as that Hyzer Flip roller. So this is where I'm kind of taking it. I might not throw this as much with Hyzer. I might throw this more flat because of this tailwind and let the disc kind of pull itself into that Hyzer, into that roller angle. This will allow me to kind of lay it down a little bit farther and maybe get a little more distance, but the moment it stands up, this is gonna wanna flip over very, very fast. So we have to be aware of that. When I'm throwing this shot, this is full send. This isn't, oh, I'm gonna be smooth with it. The Hyzer one, I might be a little more smooth because I'm throwing it onto a roller angle. With this, I'm really trying to put as much power into the disc and let it peel itself over. So I guess let's send it. See it stand up, it's cutting out. That tall grass is just holding onto the disc, but saw how quickly it pulled itself onto a roller angle out as it was out of my hand. That one might have been a little flat, maybe a touch of Annie, but that's again what we're talking about. I didn't have to throw it on as much of an angle as I did those Vandals, and I was still able to get a roller flight out of it. Now we're gonna bump up, we're gonna talk some cut rollers. I'm gonna throw a Trespass and I'm gonna throw a Felon for these, but most cut rollers are probably gonna be thrown like an Hyzer roller. You're really not gonna be throwing too many Hyzer Flip to cut rollers because it's so important about what angle the disc hits on the ground. So, haven't thrown the Trespass, but being a faster disc, I feel like I can trust it and try and lay this down earlier rather than later, so it doesn't have enough time to flip and get too tall. Just like that, and that's gonna cut right over to the left. That's a cut roller right there. It's unique. It's a really fun shot. Now let's go even more stable. So I got a Lucid X Felon. So now I'm gonna try and exaggerate this, and I'm gonna throw this kind of more like I was throwing those Hyzer rollers, but we're gonna still see the cut because this should not stand up. Again, really, really unique shot. We'll do a couple forehand rollers here in a sec, but I wanna push out a couple more just rollers in general. So I got a Raider. This is my most understable one. I really like this one for some rollers, and I really kind of push this out on some bigger Hyzer rollers. Again, exactly how it flies. Rolls a long way. Love it. Absolutely love it. On to we'll do some forehand rollers. So when throwing forehand rollers, it's really, again, we're trying to push the disc out and put it down on the angle that we want to see. This is kind of a lot easier for a forehand roller than it is a backhand because, just like on a forehand, we're seeing the shot the whole time. So if I want it to be on a cut angle, I know I can really see the exact line and the angle I want it to be on. And we're doing that motion that most players say, that they threw it flat when throwing a forehand. Like, oh, that disc is so flippy. We're actually doing it on purpose now. We're pulling over and putting the disc down on an angle. So, as you saw, very straight with that Lucid X Maverick, because I put it down on a slight angle and then it peeled itself over. Felon on a similar angle, we might see a lot more cut. But again, trying to play it out on the angle I'm trying to roll. And that one's gonna hold and cut nicely. You can see where that has a lot of use, where you maybe can't throw a Hyzer sidearm or a turnover and it's a low ceiling, you need to lay it down and have it hold the cut. That's why this is so unique. And I think probably one of the more unique parts is, say I'm inside a bush, I gotta go to a knee, and I don't have a full rip. I can just stand still here and throw a forehand roller and cover a lot of ground. Tell me you haven't been in a situation where that shot doesn't save you strokes. Last one, I don't know if I'm any good at these. Let's try it. It's a thumber roller. Have you done these? I don't know, it's like, throw a thumber roller. I mean, it's unique. It's all there. So go out, try these things, roll these things. When you're in practice rounds, throw a roller into the first available tree and try again and see if you can get it to work, because you will learn a lot. I think I was with Jeremy Colling and he showed me a shot where I just laid down a nice easy putter roller, and I was able to go, I was in a bush and I laid it down under the branches and was able to park a basket where I was trying to putt through the trees and limbs and everything. And that got me the easy 50 feet to have a 25 footer. So try everything with all the discs you have in your bag, and rollers are going to add so much depth to your game and allow you to kind of attack holes and different shots in so many different ways. So hopefully that gives you guys a good idea of how to kind of adjust and throw your rollers. This is one of the best things you guys can have in your bag as something to get you out of trouble and attack new holes in new ways. You know, trusting your discs and getting out to the field and really working with them is the best thing you can do. So hopefully these tips will transfer over and get you guys rolling like a champ. As always, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to Dynamic Discs if you want any ways to become a better disc golfer. Thank you everybody for watching, and as always, be dynamic.